Will hunting.
His truck
We
and
will hunting. Well, after this
going to
We live.
There's ice on the road.
We're live?
He drove it into the
Yeah,
We're live.
Oh,
We're live. What do you do when you're live? You tell a joke,
Oh, I don't know.
right?
Let me think.
I know a dirty joke. You want to hear it?
How hot is the circle?
That's my
360 degrees.
Well, I know a dirty joke. A boy and a girl fell in a mud puddle together.
That's funny. That's good. That's a good one. That's it.
Yeah, it's no dirty joke. So this is kind of weird. What if I need this? I might be better.
Yeah.
We'll see if anybody comes in.
Is there anybody on right now?
How can you tell how many
Anybody
people are
watching?
on?
Well, there were two.
I don't know.
That's a true question.
Remember to sell the subscribe. You're talking to yourself. I can't tell who you are, I guess, but I know there's three.
Are they actually listening to me? Do they care?
And speak loud, guys, because the mic isn't great on this.
And kind of one at a
Is
time.
there anybody on?
Yeah, there's three, at least three.
Okay.
How many of them are
Oh.
asking them to do this?
Okay, we'll do flags.
So on the-
at 7:30.
You guys that are on YouTube Live, if you want, you can join the Zoom. I'm going to put the YouTube Live on the Zoom, right? Or you could just stay on YouTube Live. But if you want to say something back to us, you're going to have to get on the Zoom to talk to us, to chat with us or whatever.
So people are watching.
No, this is-
Yeah, so because on YouTube Live, there's no way for you to communicate back or ask questions. So we I don't think we can have Let's turn that off. Can you guys hear me? Charlie, can you hear me?
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Okay. You guys, did you hear me say that I'll put the YouTube Live up here so you'll see. And then if you have questions, speak up or put it in the chat. I'd rather you maybe say something, or I'll see it in the chat, and then I can bring the questions up to everybody. Or if you want to talk to the boys, you'll be able to. But I'll put the YouTube Live up on the Zoom call so you'll be able to see them, but we'll still be able to talk to you if you want.
Probably.
Does that make sense, Charlie?
Probably.
Charlie,
Is anybody out there?
Did you mute yourself, Doug?
He's muted.
try to unmute. Hey, Charlie.
He has to accept the unmute.
Hey, Will.
Yes.
Hey, Will, are you going to go to the camp out next weekend? Okay, because you guys have to let Mrs. Burgess know. Your parents need to email her if you're going, and this weekend you have to get stuff to them. How about you, Charlie? Were you going to go? Charlie.
Oh, maybe
Charlie.
it's over.
I don't think I'm gonna go to the winter camp out.
You are going to go?
He does not.
No.
You're not going to go. Okay. I just want to let you guys know, and it's it's up to you if you want to go. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. I just need people to let Mrs. Burgess know. I need to get a count by this weekend. We need people to drop off paperwork this weekend to her. Right? Jason, did you decide yet?
Not 100% sure.
All right. Well, you decide and get the paperwork dropped in this weekend so I can get a count, so we know how many patrols and foods we need to get. Right? Okay. Anybody else online? Are you guys on the YouTube live call too? We got 5 people on the YouTube live call. If you're on the YouTube live call, I recommend that you get on the Zoom call so we can take attendance. And I will put the YouTube live up on the Zoom call. If you just get on the Zoom call, it'd be nice. YouTube livers. That's kind of like, if you wrote that out, it would say YouTube livers. I would like to have some YouTube livers. Are they like chicken livers?
I don't think so.
Good.
Our.
Your joke brought one more person in.
Hey, look at that. I'm bringing on people. We should do this every day.
Oh,
That's
you
the
just-
dad joke,
You just lost him.
It's
Oh, no, you got 2 more.
Joyous Jokes with Scoutmaster Dave. That's what I would call my channel.
Jokes.
Joyous Jokes with Scoutmaster Dave. Right? All right, how many legs does a horse have?
4.
4. That's right. How long are they?
Oh, yeah.
Long enough to reach the ground.
Oh, jeez.
What's the horse next door say?
Hey, neighbor.
No. Howdy, neighbor.
Wow.
Right?
I was thinking you were doing a golf joke with that.
You know, why couldn't the pony talk?
Get hay.
Because he was a little horse.
So that's weird.
That's a good one.
What does a dyslexic, insomniac, agnostic do?
They stay awake at night
They
and
wonder
wonder
if
whether or
there's a
not the
dog.
world was a dog.
What is agnostic?
Means they don't have any belief in God. They don't believe anything.
well,
They have no belief.
it's not atheistic. Agnostic is there's a
They
possibility
don't know.
something out there, but
They
they're
don't
very
know.
skeptical.
They're
about it.
skeptical and don't know. Atheist means they said, I don't believe in anything.
Yeah.
Of course, we're
So,
scouts, so we
what's the
believe.
in something.
We
He
believe the
stays up all
children
night.
are the future.
Wondering whether or not there really is a dog.
See, I'm not singing it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
singing
know.
the YouTube live.
That's a good one.
So if YouTube livers, if you guys get on the Zoom call, I will admit you, and we'll get started.
It took a while.
I've got
process.
Well, 'cause I
Nolan
didn't know
May,
it
Michael
was working.
Matisse. Hi, Maximo. We can hear you, Maximo.
Insomniac.
I got Will Perini, Jason, Charlie, Maximo, Sam,
Agnostic.
Chris Koyak. I got Owen May, Michael Matuzik. And in person, we have
Will.
Will Basinger,
Nick.
Nicholas Dusak, the extraordinary demonstrator of the day,
And did
And-
And Christo.
Cristo Nicolau. Okay? 3 people here to join us and help. And now I got some more people coming on. I got Mr. Dan Ducey, I got Gabe. and I got Matt Brock. Hi, Matt Brock.
Oh no.
Dad, are you joining the Zoom?
I was going to, but I don't close it.
Yeah, don't join the Zoom because it's gonna mess it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna do flags soon.
Okay, so we're gonna go. So we're gonna get started with flags. I'm gonna put up the YouTube live first
Okay.
on my screen so people can see you.
He's gonna grab the flags and bring them over.
And there we are. There's the YouTube live. Now, what you guys have to
Somebody
remember,
come on the other side.
well, it doesn't matter.
Alright.
They're not still alive.
Oh, what's going on? Hold on a minute. Huh.
Is there anybody on?
All the way up.
We'll get started.
That's me.
It's like a minute behind. That was weird.
Alright, are we good? What's going on?
You just have to deal with it. They're behind you.
There you
Alright, so troop attention. Troop, I don't know, forward march. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Scout sign. Scout up.
My honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Scout love.
Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
2. All right, guys. Tonight is all about winter camp out because of our upcoming camp out, and it is going to have a low of 17, so it's going to be a bit brisk to say. And yeah, our good friend and troop mate, Nicholas Dusick, is going to go over everything that you might need to know about cold weather camping.
And probably want to bring. So,
See, what I don't know is.
what do we want to talk about first? Okay. So,
Hold on a minute. I want to ask him something. Hey, everybody out there in Zoom, are you able to see the YouTube live on here? Oh, it's a little weird. Well, we hope you can.
it's pretty
Okay, here we
useless if
go.
we can't. I mean,
Try putting something in the chat. Maybe that will
Yeah,
work.
yeah, type,
I got a little.
Or-
we're like 20 seconds. I'm gonna give myself 20 seconds later. This is not-
it's fun.
Stop share. Oh, here's the chat. Let's see the chat. Yeah. Okay, they're saying yeah. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
Perfect,
Good.
perfect.
All right.
So I'm gonna go back to YouTube Live.
So probably 20 minutes.
Hold on, give me a
away.
moment.
20 minutes, something
So
like
I would
that.
probably start with
Ground pounds and then-
no, I would start with what to pack first. Like what to pack, and then we can get into like the hows and the whys of everything.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And go
Oh,
real,
wait a minute.
real loud when you go, okay?
Just wait a minute. I gotta catch up. When I leave the screen.
Okay. Okay, we're good.
Groovy.
Okay, so what you want to bring is you obviously want to bring boots. You want to at least bring 2 or 3 pairs of boots because they're nice and you don't want to get your feet cold.
And God forbid they get wet. Wet and cold is the recipe for what?
Hypothermia.
Correct.
And hypothermia is bad.
Hypothermia is bad.
Okay, so then you also probably want to bring socks. You probably want to bring obviously the usual things you'd bring. You also want to bring like a lot of sweatshirts and like layers so that you're not like getting cold. Because getting cold at the core is the worst thing for you. So you probably want to at least do like 4 to 3 layers of clothes with like your long johns, maybe a long sleeve t-shirt and a sweatshirt, and then your coat.
Correct.
That's probably
What
the
kind of
best.
socks do we want to bring?
Wool socks.
Yeah.
Those are probably the best. And double layering them is also like really good too, and putting like 2 layers of socks on your feet to make sure they're
What material should you not wear?
cotton. Because cotton is really bad in cold weather and when it gets wet.
That's okay. I'm not gonna wear cotton. I'm just gonna wear my blue jeans. That's okay, right?
No,
Why not?
because they're gonna stay wet and they're not gonna dry.
And what are blue jeans made out of?
Denim.
Denim.
Denim. So they're not cotton. But don't wear blue jeans. They're bad.
Yeah.
They get wet and they don't keep you warm. Actually, jeans are not warm. Jeans are made for like if you're working, they're rough and they're tough
Durable.
and they're durable, but they're not warm.
Make
So you
sure to
also-
bring extra socks in case your socks get wet. Like a
Mhm.
lot. Talking like 6 pairs.
Yes.
This is the opposite of high adventure. You don't pack light for cold weather camping.
Yeah, you do not.
The more, the merrier.
Even if you don't use it, it's fine. So now we go into hats. I say bring 2 hats just in case if one gets like wet, that you have another one just in case, because it's always about wetness. Because it's not just cold, it's going to be wet. And being wet is the worst thing for you. So you also want to bring 2 pairs of gloves or 3, it depends. If you want double layer gloves.
Good. We're good.
So the gloves are really good. It's just like a hat. If they get wet, they're useless pretty much because they're gonna stay wet and it's not good obviously for your hands.
Wet
to stay
things
wet.
don't dry in the cold.
Yes. Even with our cabin that we have, it's still not gonna stay. Fingerless gloves are nice, and then with another add layer like mittens, kind of like this. Like this is really nice, and also having this and be able to like block it. And,
And then those are really nice. Those that I wear hunting. Stick a hand warmer in the fingers, and then those.
yeah.
Is it okay to bring hand warmers on the scout outing?
Yes.
Yeah. Now
Just
read
don't
on some of the hand warmers, and if you stick them to your skin, they actually can burn you. So the last time we went, it got down to 16 in November 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And people put them next to in between their socks and their feet. And somebody burnt their feet. So you're supposed to not put them right against your skin.
Which is another
Now-
reason to layer.
Right. So if you got a nice thin layer on, you put the hand warmer inside, outside the thin layer and inside the thick layer.
Yeah. That's always a good idea.
They make gloves that have pockets in them to put the hand warmers
It's
in.
in this bag of goodies.
Oh, well, this is all the clothes that I'm thinking of bringing.
Well,
And I've
I would
also-
just kind of show them.
Oh yeah, but we've also got like plastic bags around the clothes to make sure if your bag gets wet, that your clothes don't get wet, because that's the worst thing to happen, is getting your clothes wet, so you have nothing new to put on. Also, I've also got 2 sleeping bags here, because having 2 layers of sleeping bags is nice. I mean, or if you want to use 1 sleeping bag and a fleece blanket or something like that.
Oh my god.
Somebody left stuff in there.
Oh my god.
Food.
A bear has come into the camp.
What happened?
I don't know. Why don't you just clean that out while he shows his clothes?
That's you're gonna.
Well,
you're
why
gonna
don't we
need,
just
like,
do
a
it
room.
here? It's fine to just put it right here.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it's the best we can probably do, because that's
Dude, that's bad.
bad. So you probably want to put your foam mat.
Don't forget this.
Do not forget this. Everybody, I think, should have a
If you
foam
don't,
blanket or
if you don't have one, ask my dad. He'll get you one.
Yes.
You will be cold without this trying to sleep.
And also a used yoga mat or your summer mats are nice as a second layer to not be on the hard foam mat. And then you put on your 2 sleeping bags onto them. And that's how I would sleep. In this way. So.
And then this guy right on top of here.
And that is good.
Show him the bags.
Here's our bags. I've got I forget how big these are. I
This
think
This is a really good idea
yeah,
because if all your clothes get wet, you might as well just go home.
yeah. And obviously we do not want you going home too early. Or else you won't be able to get any of the activities that we're doing. You're not gonna be able to do it. So that is a pretty good
And
is
then
there anything else?
this is probably the essentials, and then obviously headlamp, pillows, blankets, whatever you need to bring.
Oh, also have neck things. Oh, gaiters. Gaiters are really nice for in the night to make sure your neck's
Your
warm.
neck stay warm, yeah.
Yeah. So does anybody have any questions in the chat?
Let me check the chat. Does anybody have a question? You put it in the chat.
Yeah. Answering questions is okay. It's actually encouraged. We're 20 seconds behind, so.
It's also a good idea to bring extra scarves and masks because your mask will get all wet from the condensation all day. So you may want to switch masks out since you got to wear a mask all day.
Also, something to do in the tent to make sure all the moisture doesn't go into everything else. Put a towel, like a washcloth or something on the top, hanging on the top of the tent, because that gets all the moisture, because the moisture goes up. So it's not a bad idea to do that instead of having.
Should you zip the tent up real tight so you can stay nice and warm?
No.
You want air so that the condensation doesn't build up and start dripping on you.
Yeah.
Yep.
The tent doesn't keep you warm. Your sleeping out setup keeps you warm.
Yep.
So what I'm doing here is because some scouts were acting inappropriately. So I'm sweeping up. This is like Ritz cracker crumbs out of this tent I opened up. You guys, you're not supposed to have food in the tents, see? This is horrible. That's kind of silly, okay? And then, so now, this is why often I ask the patrol leaders that they have to inspect the tents before you collapse them. Which means, because we found this, that's what we'll be doing. Now we have to inspect the tents before you can collapse them. So if we're leaving on a Sunday morning, and you collapse your tent and roll it all up, and it wasn't inspected, you're gonna have to set it back up and have it inspected.
Just having a
And that just wasn't a couple crumbs, guys. That was a lot of food.
I didn't even get it all yet.
And I took out like a box of food.
There was a box. I saw them.
There was,
a lot.
there was 3 things of Ritz crackers.
Yeah, like that. There was a lot.
The shoppers, they didn't eat them. I would have eaten.
Putting back.
Did anybody have any questions or no?
You see any questions on there, Frank?
Nobody typed anything in. No.
Okay, so no questions.
I want to ask these guys some questions. Make sure they were paying attention.
You can just type or.
Can I just unmute?
Or have it be 20 seconds.
Oh, yeah. So Nicholas,
Yeah.
you forgot 2 things about
Charlie.
sleeping.
Oh, sleeping. Sleeping. What?
What kind of socks should you wear?
Oh, you always want to change before bed.
Put it in the chat. I can't hear.
You always want to change, and you always want to wear a hat going to bed, or maybe a hood or something to cover up your head and neck. That's always nice too.
Good job, Charlie.
And
Wait,
you
try
wear
that?
4 layers of clothes in your snow pants and your sleeping bag?
Yes.
Generally, no. You just wear 1 fresh layer.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
that's all
When
right.
you're sleeping, yes, make sure you have clothes to change in to right before you sleep, because believe it or not, you're sweating throughout the day, and your clothes are semi-wet.
Where should you stick those clothes?
Probably an extra bag you have to make sure your other clothes doesn't get wet.
Like in your sleeping bag to make sure they're as warm as possible when you jump into these really clean and dry, cold clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is, what's gonna make you really cold in the middle of the night is getting out of your sleeping bag. So what should you do right before you get into your tent and go to bed?
Go to the bathroom. Because you do not want to get up during the middle of the night and go to the bathroom, because then you're going to come back to your tent freezing.
And you can wear, if you wear cotton socks and layer socks, they're okay. Just make sure you have extra socks so you can always have dry socks to put on.
Yeah, because socks, gloves, yeah.
And if you're feeling brave and you wake up and you really, really have to go to the bathroom, like I said, you're feeling brave, and it's not my fault if an accident were to happen. You could go to the bathroom in a cup and make sure it's sealed.
How about like a pickle jar that's got a lid on it or something like that?
With
Yes.
a wide mouth Gatorade bottle with a rock.
Algae
With a rock.
Well, probably water bottles that you reuse are probably not the option.
Not your
to
friend's
go.
water bottle.
No, no.
Because then you might think it's lemonade and then drink it.
Definitely not.
And that probably
Food
be
Quick,
bad.
they tell you to wrap that one with duct, that's the one you wrap with duct tape so you don't sleep in. So you can keep it separate from your regular one.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
It's definitely a good idea. Mark it.
Yeah, to make sure you're not drinking from it.
All right. Are there any questions about what to bring on a winter camp out?
What if somebody gets cold tonight?
If you get really, really cold in the middle of the night, like really cold, if you start shivering, then you need to let people know.
Yeah.
All right, and if your body starts shivering, it's because it's trying to create heat, and then you know that you're getting closer to being in danger of hypothermia.
And then you probably
Okay.
want to talk to an adult, and they're probably going to direct you to go in the
Yeah, you get an adult, and we do have a cabin and a lodge for this camp out. And a few of the kids, a lot of the kids want to camp out and try camping out in the cold, but you don't have to. You can also camp in the lodge. So if you get too cold, we'll send you in the lodge. We'll grab your sleeping bag, you go in the lodge.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's not bad to go into the lodge. Because you'd rather be warm than cold, and it doesn't matter if you're just sleeping outside the tent. It's just you want to be warm.
Anything special for cooking this outing or no?
We are cooking inside
I
the
believe,
cabins
yes.
and lodges, I think.
So we are lucky. We're told that we can cook inside the lodge and inside Eagle Cabin. So we should be able to cook indoors. It might get down in the 20s during the day. It might only be in the 30s. If it's in the 30s, we're not really too worried about it. As long as you're dry, you're pretty safe. But if it's in the 20s and below, then it's kind of hard to get much done outside. And if a patrol really wants to cook outside, you can set it up outside. But we should be able to cook inside.
I mean, propane won't work at a certain temperature. So,
Another thing is,
yeah.
eating more keeps you warmer. This is not the weekend to be cutting weight for a wrestling meet when you're camping because you'll be colder. You want to eat lots of calories. Whoever is buying should buy lots of nuts and snacks and make sure during the day you eat enough to stay warm because calories help keep you warm.
Or like some
Yeah, trail mix,
nice
chocolate trail mix is really good. Carbs, lots of carbs.
I got it.
All right, I'm gonna go off of YouTube and just go back to the Zoom. I want to see if anybody has any questions. If I've missed them.
This is weird. The 20-second delay and then it talking back.
One thing is Charlie Smith said make sure you bring wool socks, right? Cotton socks aren't the best. A couple pair of wool socks on at a time are good. And
Don't be afraid to bring an extra blanket to put over your sleeping bag if you're afraid you're gonna be cold.
yeah, I like to bring a fleece blanket. So I will bring 2 sleeping bags and a fleece blanket. Is Mrs. Teo online? Did you find out about the sleeping bags? We could tell the troop about that.
Yeah, so I have a coworker who wants to donate a bunch of sleeping bags to our troop. They're cold-weather sleeping bag systems. And so I'm gonna try to pick those up from them this weekend. And we can give them out either right at the camp out or if there's a meeting next week, then we can do that. But basically it's the Army surplus store
I have those.
sleeping bag systems where you have a
They're
2-bag
big.
system.
Toasty.
And I'm sure some of you guys probably know more about that stuff than me.
And a 2-bag system is really good because if it really fits together, instead of having to make your own, one's inside the other. And if you're really hot, you get too hot, you can take one off, right?
If those are the ones I'm thinking of, they're really nice because the inside layer is a really good sleeping bag to use all year round as just a normal sleeping bag, and you can separate them out. And the outside one is really thick for winter, but the other one's just a really good sleeping bag to have all the time.
So I'm hoping maybe Miss Teo, I could get those from you. The meeting will be on Zoom next Thursday, right? Or I'll put that out later. But if we don't meet in person, I can bring them and we can hand them out to people that want them. And I really want to try one out in the cold weather and see if it's better than what I have myself.
Sounds like we'll be able to get enough for whoever wants one and extras too, so.
Yeah, because you said they might have up to 40 or something, right?
Yep.
Okay, so if you guys really want one, this is a donation to the troop, and you can have one, right? You can have one. Cristo wants one. Okay, so I'll talk to you about getting them from you next week if you get them this weekend maybe, and we'll hand them out for the cold weather and check it out.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
And this user should have made everybody a fleece hat So those are great hats to bring on outings. If you don't have one, does Nicholas have his in there to show up?
So the blue one that Nicholas had,
I threw it.
where's that at? Oh, I want that back.
Yeah,
We handed these all out.
right there.
Right here. So we handed these all out, remember? I got this one here.
I never
These-
got one.
Oh, we
We
don't
were,
have
oh,
any.
we were at the meeting. I handed out a bunch of them. I think there might be some more at the church. I'll look.
I don't know, maybe I wasn't there.
I have
No,
about
you were
3 or
at the
4, so I could probably give you.
So if you have those, bring them. And some, she also gave some neck warmers out. I got one somewhere. I tried to find that. It's a gator, yeah, and it really works well.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Work as a
the other thing we're gonna do on the camp out is we're gonna
Yeah.
make snowshoes. So we're gonna make snowshoes, and Mr. Matusik is putting that together, and then we might have a little contest with the snowshoes after you make them, and that'll be kind of fun. And also, you should bring games, cards, games, Catan.
Maybe some like sleds, maybe.
And sleds, yes, because there may not be huge hills there, but there's a hill right by a small hill right by the lodge, okay?
So that might not be a bad idea to maybe sled something.
Yeah, and we're hoping that there's some more snow, because we thought we might do something like an igloo building contest,
Yeah.
right? If we get enough snow, we have light snow.
It's
All right.
idea.
Are there other questions about the camp out and what's coming up here in the camp out? And if you're not going on the camp out, we'll still look for email on next week's meeting. Okay? And we knew this meeting wouldn't last long necessarily unless some people have other stuff to say. Otherwise, we'll do our closing.
Well, if somebody has questions, last minute questions, even though we've asked a lot of questions.
You can always email Mr. Basinger with gear questions, or Nicholas, or anybody.
Or Christo.
Your senior patrol leader.
Or Will said he can answer questions. I noticed Jason Primpus there says it's really important to change clothes at night. You're sweating before you go to bed, whether you think you are or not. And even though your socks may not feel wet, or even your underwear is holding dampness in.
It makes a
Okay.
big difference.
So you got to have a dry pair of clothes to trade into on Friday night. And if you want to camp a second night, you need to have a second set of dry clothes for the second night. And I wear fleece pajamas. Fleece is one of the warmest things you can get. So like these hats are fleece. That's why they're so warm, right? So if you have fleece, I think it's better than a wool blanket by far. Fleece is better.
We
Okay.
got some at Ufik.
Any other questions about cold weather camping? This should be fun. If you really want to join, you got to let Mrs. Burgess know as soon as possible. Okay?
Do the paperwork. 'Cause
Yeah, she's got to have the paperwork this weekend. I got to figure out how many kids and who's going so I can let the APLs know. And Mason, I know Mason's going to be one of the APLs, and I don't know. I got to get the list before I can figure out who the next one is. Okay?
You guys are going right.
Mhm.
Right? Okay. I think we'll have our closing, so we'll go back to YouTube Live for the closing.
Okay.
Hold on a minute, guys.
Wait, what are we doing for closing?
How are we gonna do this?
We're gonna ask. Is there anybody that got any merit badges over the last few weeks? Anybody got any merit badges? Anybody got any merit badges or rank? Are there any January birthdays? Oh, Maximo got a merit badge. And Owen, what merit badges did you guys get? Say the merit badge in chat. What was the merit badge you got?
Nose.
Owen, if you unmute, you can tell me the merit badge. Did you get a merit badge?
Yeah, we should probably remind everybody about
Maximo, did you get a merit badge?
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it?
Your dad said he's
Family life.
Family Life, Eagle required.
Nice.
Sweet. And how about Owen? You got Owen got American Civilization. That's a merit badge that Will doesn't have because Will isn't as good as Owen.
Which one?
American Civilization.
Now you're
Nice.
gonna have to go get it.
Now I gotta do it.
Right? What about is Ryan or Gabe? I thought you guys did some merit badges recently. Are you guys on here?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's more than me.
In 2 weeks, it's on 23.
Can you,
Yeah.
can you take a picture of all the people that are on
Didn't you do
here?
like 10 in 1 week, something like that?
Yeah, I did 13.
Oh, 13.
Okay, so Maximo, Owen, you can follow the guys. I know it's kind of hard here, but we will actually close the meeting in a proper form.
I want to say something real quick. I have my Eagle Scout project
One more.
planned. It is going to be 23 and 24 of January. So if you guys would just keep your eyes posted, I will email you guys a thing, or if we meet, I can give you guys flyers, whatever. Just keep your eyes peeled, and hopefully your schedule's open for that weekend.
Looking forward to it. All right. I also know that Joey Miller has his Eagle project approved, and he is looking for some dates, maybe 2 weeks after Christos or something, early February maybe. Okay? And he's going to need some help with his too. All right.
I don't know if we can serve it, but if I can't, sure. Yeah. All right, present arms. And
And
now,
now,
Great.
great masters
of
of all scouts, be with us until we meet again.
Cool.
Okay. So thanks everybody for coming to the meeting. If you have any questions, let me know.
No, I was waiting for them to like talk.
So I would. Who do I need to do
I
Eagle
saw,
Scout?
I didn't even see you guys.
Is it
I opened
Ian?
it, I was like, are you kidding?
I didn't know. We didn't open it before.
I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Okay, so all